Hello people of YouTube, today we're covering the complete installation of the 60-inch Makenna ceiling fan by Home Decorators Collection. If you found this video, you might be stuck in your own installation and you're looking for some help. We're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan. We're going to install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on. But if you want to fast forward to any point in the installation, use the links below and that'll take you right to that point and you don't have to watch the whole video. Yeah, and if you like this video, you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe and that'll help other people find it as well. So before we get started, just a couple of important notes. Make sure the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. One other note is if you're hanging this fan where you just had a light on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you'll need to replace that before beginning. Okay, just some notes about the fan. It has a powerful and quiet DC motor that gives you 5 different speed settings. It does include a remote control, and the reverse function is included in that remote. The remote also includes a wall cradle for convenient storage when it's not in use. The fan also includes an integrated LED light kit that gives you 6 different color temperature settings ranging from 2700K warm white all the way up to 6500K daylight deluxe. And it has a couple quick install features like a slide-on mounting bracket and a twist and lock shade that makes installation a bit easier, as well as the remote receiver has quick connect wire harness plugs to make the wiring simple. So as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan and we've opened up the manual to the parts page. We're just going to go through all the parts to make sure we have everything, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you have the slide-on mounting bracket. That comes pre-installed with the Canopy and the magnetic decorative ring on the bottom, and we'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. You'll have 8 reversible blades, the decorative motor collar cover, the ball and downrod assembly. You'll have 8 blade arms, 8 blade arm brackets, 8 decorative frame pieces, the light shade, the LED light kit, the fan motor. If you're installing this with an extension downrod, you'll have a bit of extension wiring. You'll have the remote and receiver, and as mentioned, the remote does have that wall cradle for convenient storage when it's not in use, and the batteries are included. And you also have this hardware pack. The hardware pack has the blade arm screws, the blade attachment screws, the decorative frame piece screws, and plastic wire nuts, and the hanger and locking pin. Okay, so just some tools we're going to need for this project. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. We like to have a long one and a short one on hand. You'll need a flathead screwdriver. You might need a pair of wire cutters and strippers. We like to have a line voltage tester to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. You'll need some electrical tape, and of course a ladder. So we have everything here. We're ready to begin. Let's do this. The mounting bracket comes pre-installed inside the Canopy with the decorative ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first pull off the decorative ring. It's magnetic, so it just pulls off. You'll notice an alignment post at the base of the Canopy. You'll need to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the base of the Canopy, enough so that that alignment post can exit that hole. Once those 2 screws are loosened, you'll simply lift and twist the mounting bracket to remove it from the Canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. The bracket has 2 keyhole slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. Simply align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and then slide to hold in place before tightening. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply lines through the mounting bracket and align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws that were loosened in the outlet box. Then slide the mounting bracket into place. Then, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both of the outlet box screws and secure the mounting bracket. Make sure that both screws are completely tightened. The blades are reversible, so before beginning the blade assembly process, choose the finish that you would like facing towards the floor, and then make sure that that finish is facing up. Then take a blade arm bracket and align the 3 posts of the blade arm bracket with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hole in the line of holes at the end of the blade. Insert the blade arm bracket into those holes and holding it with one hand, flip the blade over, and then align the holes of the blade arm with the holes at the end of the blade. Place the blade arm in position, aligning the holes of the blade arm with the holes in the blade, and then use a blade attachment screw and start one screw in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hole of the blade arm. Those screws will connect with the blade arm bracket on the opposite side of the blade. Once those 3 screws are started, completely tighten those screws using a Phillips head screwdriver. Repeat this process for the 7 remaining blades. The blade assembly is attached to the bottom of the fan. There's a black ring on the base of the fan with screw holes. The screw holes of the blade arm bracket will align with those holes. It's helpful to have a piece of styrofoam or a cardboard box to hold the fan motor during this step. Insert the blade arm underneath that black ring so that the lip of the blade arm rests flush against the black ring. Align the 2 screw holes in the blade arm with the 2 screw holes in the black ring. Gently push the blade arm in and then start a blade arm screw in each of those 2 holes. Once those 2 screws are started, use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws about 3/4 of the way. You'll need a little bit of play in the blade arms to attach the decorative pieces and will completely tighten at the end. Repeat this process for 6 of the 7 remaining blades. You'll attach the last blade once the fan is hung. The decorative frame piece will cover the blade arm bracket. To attach the frame piece, you'll insert the post from the frame piece into the 2 holes on either side of the blade arm bracket, and the open area of the frame piece will cover the blade arm bracket. The screw hole at the end of the decorative frame piece will align with the tab on the blade arm. This is just to show how the pieces fit together. It'll be easier to attach the frame pieces once the fan is flipped over. With the fan in position, place the decorative frame over the blade bracket so that the posts of the decorative frame insert into the holes on the blade, and then place the end of the frame so that it aligns with the tab on the top of the blade arm. Use the decorative frame screws and start one in each end of the blade arm so that they start into the post of the decorative frame, and use a frame brace screw and start that in the end of the decorative frame. Once all the screws are started, completely tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver. Repeat this process for 6 of the 7 remaining decorative frame pieces. You'll attach the last one after the last blade is attached. Before routing the wires and installing the downrod, you'll first need to loosen but not remove the set screw on the motor collar. Use a flathead screwdriver to loosen but not remove this screw. Before routing the wires through the ball and downrod assembly, gently pull the green wire from inside the ball and downrod assembly. Next, place the downrod through the canopy so that the largest opening of the canopy is on the ball side. Next, place the decorative ring on the downrod, making sure that the black side with the slots is touching the canopy. The last piece is a decorative motor collar cover. Place that on the downrod so that the largest opening is facing towards the threaded end of the downrod. Insert the ends of the wires through the threaded end of the ball and downrod assembly until they exit through the ball portion, and gently pull them through until the downrod meets the motor collar. Before screwing the downrod into the motor collar, it's important to note the holes at the end of the downrod that will align with the holes on either side of the motor collar once the downrod is completely screwed in. Attach the downrod to the fan by screwing the downrod into the motor collar. When completing this step, make sure the holes at the end of the downrod align with the holes in the motor collar. Insert the hanger pin located in the hardware pack through one hole of the motor collar so that it exits the opposite side. Secure the hanger pin by placing the locking pin through the holes at the end of the hanger pin until it snaps into place. Once the locking pin is set, use a flathead screwdriver to completely tighten the set screw on the motor collar. Then slide the motor collar cover and canopy down till they meet the fan. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot in the ball that will engage the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab. This is just a close-up demonstration. To hang the fan, lift the fan assembly up to the ceiling. Note the location of the slot that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel that tab engage the slot. The fan will drop into place when properly seated. When installing the receiver, you'll notice one side has 2 plugs. Those will connect to the fan wiring. The other side of the receiver has 3 wires that will connect to the house wiring. Make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling, and then insert the receiver antenna end first through the mounting bracket so that it rests on top of the ball and downrod. Begin making the wire connections by connecting the small wire plug from the receiver to the small wire plug from the fan. Once that connection is made, move that wire out of the way, and then connect the large wire plug from the receiver to the large wire plug from the fan. The plugs will snap together when properly connected. Next, take the green wire from the ball and downrod assembly and the green wire from the mounting bracket and connect that with the green wire from the receiver. Twist those wires together, and then twist those wires together with the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Once all those wires are twisted together, secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the white wire from the house. This is the neutral connection. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Complete the wiring by taking the black wire from the receiver and twisting that wire together with the black wire from the house supply lines. This is the power connection. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wiring connections are completed, gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket to make room for the canopy to attach. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using 2 keyhole slots on either side of the canopy that will align with the 2 screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Align those holes with the screws in the mounting bracket and push the canopy up so the screws come through the keyhole slots, and then twist to hold the canopy in place. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws and secure the canopy. You can tilt the fan to make extra room for the screwdriver to access the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tight. The decorative ring is magnetic. You just need to align the slots of the decorative ring with the 2 screws at the base of the canopy, and then slide the decorative ring up, and it will attach itself to the bottom of the canopy. Attach the 8th blade to the fan by inserting the blade arm into the black ring at the base of the fan, aligning the screw holes of the blade arm with the screw holes in that black ring, and secure the blade assembly to the fan using the 2 blade arm screws and a Phillips head screwdriver. Do not completely tighten these screws at this point. Attach the final decorative frame piece by aligning it over the blade bracket so that the end of the frame piece aligns with that tab in the blade arm of the next blade. Secure using the decorative frame screws and the frame brace screw as previously done. Once all the decorative frame pieces have been attached, go back and completely tighten all of the blade arm screws using a Phillips head screwdriver. Make sure that all of the screws are completely tightened at this point. The light kit attaches to the fan using 2 keyhole slots and 1 standard screw hole. Those will align with the 3 screws pre-installed on the black bracket at the base of the fan. Begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to first remove and save one of the 3 screws, and then loosen but do not remove the 2 remaining screws. Remove the twist tie holding the light wires at the base of the fan. Connect the light kit to the fan by inserting the white wire plug from the light kit into the white wire plug from the fan, and the black wire plug from the light kit into the blue wire plug from the fan. Once the wire connections have been made, gently tuck the wires in and align the keyhole slots of the light kit with the 2 screws that were loosened in the black bracket of the fan. Push up and twist to engage the screws in the keyhole slots to hold the light kit in place. Using a Phillips head screwdriver and the screw that was removed and saved, insert the screw into the standard screw hole of the light kit and completely tighten that screw, and then completely tighten the 2 remaining screws. The light shade attaches to the fan using a twist and lock installation method. There are 3 tabs on the inside of the light shade that will align with 3 flat sides on the outer edge of the light kit. To attach the light shade, you'll place the shade over the light kit, aligning the tabs in the light shade with the 3 slots on the outer edge of the light kit, and then push up and twist to lock the shade in place. Before using the remote, you'll need to insert the batteries that were included. Slide the battery compartment cover off the back of the remote, and then insert the batteries according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. Once the batteries are inserted, replace the battery cover by sliding it onto the back of the remote. This fan features a full-featured remote control. Press the power button to turn the fan and light off. Press the power button again to turn the fan and light back on to its last settings. Press and hold this button for 5 seconds to activate the walk-away time delay. The light will dim briefly 50% to let you know this feature is activated, and then the fan and light will turn off in about a minute. Press the fan speed button to cycle through the fan's 5 speeds, starting with high all the way to low. Press and release the light button to turn the light on or off. Press and hold the light button to cycle through the light's brightness settings. The light will cycle from bright to dim back to bright. Release the button when the desired level of brightness is achieved. Press and release the color temperature button to cycle through the light's 6 color temperature settings, ranging from 2700K warm white to 6500K daylight deluxe. Press and release the reverse button to change the fan's direction. The fan must be on and running before pressing this button. The fan will slow to a stop and then start back up in the opposite direction. The remote comes paired with the ceiling fan from the factory, but if you have more than one remote control ceiling fan in the house, it may be necessary to change the frequency of the remote. To change the frequency, start with the power to the fan turned off at the breaker box or at the wall switch, and then change the position of the dip switch in the battery compartment of the remote. Return power to the fan at the breaker box and wall switch, and within 30 seconds, press and release the Learn button in the battery compartment of the remote control. If pairing is successful, the fan's light will blink. To attach the wall cradle to the wall, begin by removing the screw cover by sliding it out of the wall cradle. Then choose a position on the wall where you'd like to store the remote when not in use. Use the included screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to attach the wall cradle to the wall. Make sure both screws are tight. You may want to use anchors that are also provided when attaching the wall cradle to the wall. Once the screws are tight, reinsert the screw cover into the slots of the wall cradle. When starting the fan, you may notice that the fan moves back and forth or seems to stutter before starting up. This is completely normal for a DC motor ceiling fan. This is just the magnetic poles in the DC motor aligning and starting the fan up. Congratulations, your ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.